All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Thursday. So before we begin, I would love to just land in the space together. This is a bit of a tradition we do at the beginning of all of our Maloca events, and just let our nervous system settle into the space, into the virtual space, with 3 deep breaths at your own pace whenever you'd like. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to learn and share space as we deepen our relationships with and understanding of the different facets of the traditional Amazonian plant medicine wheel. So for those of you who have worked with ayahuasca before, you may know that ayahuasca is one of many plant teachers utilized for learning and medicine in the Amazon. The maestros or maestras who work with ayahuasca also have a rich understanding of many other plants and tools and techniques, which create a holistic healthcare system for physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. And so today we are going to learn a bit more about that. So this is one of many regular events through our community and integration platform, the Maloca. We offer workshops, talks, sharing circles, and more from teachers, practitioners, and luminaries across the fields of plant medicine, psychedelics, and holistic health. So today I am so pleased to introduce Ana Calisto, whom I've had the privilege of knowing and working with in different capacities for many years. And I believe we actually both started our plant medicine path around the same time in the early 2010s. And in reflecting on this, since she knew and worked with Dan before I did back when he had his center in the Amazon, I just really honor the roots that connect us and the different chapters of life we've both witnessed in each other, and also where it's led us today. And for Ana, among many other amazing projects that she has going on right now, offering this workshop and also this at-home plant medicine series, which she'll talk more about, is a real culmination of all of these years of really pursuing her path with integrity and dedication. So really honor you in that. And to share a bit about that path, I'll read a little bit of her bio here. So Ana started her plant medicine journey more than a decade ago in Portugal. She has built her life around the wisdom, knowledge, and guidance gained from her traditional Amazonian plant medicine studies. In 2013, Ana first traveled to the Peruvian Amazon to further her studies and work as a facilitator in one of the most well-known Amazonian plant medicine centers in Peru. There, she had the good fortune to meet and work with Dan Cleland, Soltara's co-founder. After a couple of years of healing, dieting, and studying under the Shipibo tradition, Ana decided to focus on her own healing path, doing diets under the Quechua Mista tradition. It led her to return to Portugal and embark on a journey to become a certified body psychotherapist. Body psychotherapy applies the basic principles of somatic psychology, where the body plays an essential role in the healing journey. Her integration journey has led her to create a customized one-on-one integration program. Along with her practice as a therapist, she combines master plants specific to client intention to bring more depth and guidance to their unique integration journey. Ana is dedicated to helping other people integrate their ayahuasca journey, turning visions into reality and desires into actions, breaking old patterns, and creating new habits. So with that, I will pass it off to Ana and share that we will have some time for Q&A at the end. So you can either put your questions in the chat box or wait till Q&A if you have any questions. So thank you all so much, and thank you, Ana, for being here.
Thanks, Mel, for inviting me to provide this workshop. It's an honor, I know, for your trust to put me here to share my knowledge and my experience with plant medicine. I would like to share my screen so we can start. So let's try to make that happen. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, that works.
Great. Let me know. Okay, here. Okay, so many little boxes here. Okay, better this way. Present. Okay, so as Melissa was sharing, I started my journey actually in Portugal. I'm from Portugal. I drank for the first time in Portugal with a master there that she trained under the Shipibo tradition as well. And then I decided to go to Peru, not to become a facilitator, but to further my healing process, because I needed to do some plant medicine dietas in order to get deeper into my own themes. And this led me to to Peru. Here I share a bit the pictures of my journey. Here it's where I started. This is at Niorao. It's where I started, and then I was lucky enough to become a facilitator at the center. I just a brief story here. I was a patient at the center, and then in one of the sessions, out of the blue, I started to sing Shipibo, and the next day, one of the owners of the center came to me and she asked me if I wanted to start my journey as a facilitator at the center, and then I said yes. So this was a really important step of my ayahuasca journey, because this is where I start to interact with other people and help them in their journeys, and also experience master plans under as a facilitator. And here in this picture, it's me at the Ayahuasca Adventure Center. It's a previous center from Dan, co-founder of Soltara. And here was also a very important period of my life. It's when I decided to leave the previous center. I met Dan, and then I started to work for him. And here you can see me facilitating a Cambo session. I believe this was back in 2014. So this was a very important moment of my life. And after this center, I decided to take a break. This is when I decided to focus only on my healing process, because I realized that I had a lot of work to do, and in order to be able to help other people, I needed to do some personal healing work. And then I did most of my plant medicine dietas at Takiwazi. It's a retreat center, a rehabilitation center, actually, where I work at the moment. We treat drug addiction using plant medicine, psychotherapy, and living in community. So living in community is a big part of the journey. That's why I'm a big fan of integration, because I do believe that integration happens when we relate with one another, and healing also happens in this way. And here it's me at Soltara with the maestros. This was in 2020. This was also a very important moment in my life, because I was not into facilitation for a long time, and then I got an invitation from Mel to come join, and I accepted the challenge. I'm a mother, so here I had my child with me. I brought my whole family to Costa Rica. They supported me on this in this path. And this was very important to me, because here, as a facilitator at Soltara, I realized that my journey as a facilitator was over, and that's why Soltara is very important to me. I realized that I needed to step back into my power and serve in all the way. And I decided to start my journey as a integration therapist. It's also part of my practice these days, but I'm full-time at Takiwazi, so I have more than a background. That's it. And now the topics of this workshop, we're going to talk about master plans, what master plans are, their medicinal properties, and different ways you can work with master plans as well, master plan dietas, and integration and master plans, how they come together. I don't know if I can see all the people here on the screen. I would like to know how many people here have drunk ayahuasca, experience with ayahuasca. Where is the chat? I can see you, Mel. You're the only person I can see here. Okay.
Might have to go.
Okay, I can see Mark too.
There you go.
Yeah, where is the chat box? Okay. So how many people roughly? You can write on the chat, and Mel will help me too. Okay, I can see a hand here, Cindy. Great. So you already know about master plants because ayahuasca is the master plant. Actually, is the mother of all plants. Okay, wait. Right, master plants. So ayahuasca is considered the teacher of the teachers and the mother of all master plants. And this is very important because ayahuasca is used to expand our subconscious, right? And when we drink ayahuasca, all of our senses are expanded. We can see ourselves in a more clear way, even things that we are not aware of. And here we can see ourselves like facing some themes of our life, some traumatic experiences, some issues that we want to work, and to get to those issues, one session of ayahuasca or 2 sessions of ayahuasca will not be enough. And sometimes they're just afraid to jump right into it in the ayahuasca ceremony. It happened to me many times. And that's why the other master plants are very, very helpful, because there's different master plants. I will share a bit about them in the next slides. But they can help us to dive and to dig into those themes. And plant medicine, master plants, they can teach through visions, dreams, and intuitions. So during ayahuasca, you mainly experience the teaching from the plants through the visions and through intuition, right? I believe the intuition is also a type of vision when our senses are all expanded, and all this connection with the plants, all this information that we get, sometimes it's not in form of visuals, but some kind of thoughts, some kind of intuitions that come to us. And those are very, very important. With master plant and plant dietas, the teaching comes mostly from the dreams. So dreams get really expanded on the plant medicine dieta, and they will bring revelations and information about our process. And during the dieta itself, we will digest and metabolize those emotions or those experiences in our life that we need to heal. So here I would like to share with you what a master plant dieta is. Many of you may have heard about this term. It's different from an ayahuasca diet, where you need to prepare yourself to drink ayahuasca to be ready to receive the plant. A master plant dieta is a little deeper than that. So it consists in the ingestion of plants. And when we ingest the plants, our energetic body opens. And this also happens because there's restrictions that are very important to receive the energy of the plants. This includes salt, restrictions on salt, alcohol, and depends of the tradition and the maestro that will recommend that. So some people might differ here, but I will talk by my own experience. Usually it's very restricted. On the Shipibo tradition, I've experienced a plant medicine dieta with boca chico, that is a type of fish from the river, and grilled plantain. This is a very famous type of dieta that happens with the Shipibo tradition. And here, for example, at Takiwazi, where I did many of my dietas, we eat mainly boiled plantain and rice and oats. No salt, no sugar, no condiments. This will allow us to open our energetic body and receive the energy from the plants. It's very important. And when you do that, when you drink the plants, our energy will change, right? This will allow our energy to become more pure, to refine our energy, and to have the energy of the plant inside of us. So there's different types of master plant dietas. I've experienced both of them, the apprenticeship dieta and the healing dieta. And inside of these two, we can have social diets and isolation diets. So I started my journey actually with an apprenticeship dieta and as a social dieta. I was with other people, I was facilitating, and this can be very powerful because can can help us to, to learn, to connect better with the plants. We are in the fields. All the experiences makes us learn quicker, but there's a downside to it, a huge downside, in my opinion, because when we are in a social diet, everything comes into your diet. So imagine your energetic body is open, and everything you contact with, you relate to, it comes to your diet. So it's not going to be pure diet. It's going to be, can be a good diet, but full of other energies. So it's kind of hard to discern what is the plant, what is what. And so I'm a big fan of focusing on healing diets. And healing diets usually they lead to learning as well, because I believe we learn through our own experience. When we heal ourselves, we're going to be able to learn how we did that, so we can also help other people on their way. And healing diets, they heal, on the physical, emotional, and spiritual level, as well as the apprenticeship diet. But just you don't go as deep. You don't go as deep on your own personal work. And the isolation diets, they're my favorite type of plant medicine dietas, because they really allow you to just connect with yourself and help you to do your work. You have the space to get all the boredom come out, and within that boredom, it's where the gold is. We can find some kind of intuition, like a kind of thought that we're not expecting. And those are very important. And for that to happen, we need to really be alone in the quiet space, so we can let our system relax and we can see what's inside of us. And yes, it's very restrictive. An isolation dieta can be very, very restrictive. Again, it's not just the foods, it's also the connection with other people. And usually you're not allowed to do anything else. It's just you and a pen and paper. So you can write your dreams, you can write any messages that can come to you. And this is a very powerful work. And I'm talking a bit about the post-diet as well. So the diet itself can, it depends from the tradition, again, in the maestro. It can go from 1 week to years of diet, right? But the post-diet is very important too. It's not just the diet itself. It's the same as ayahuasca, I would say. It's important to respect the plant and give it space to really sit with you and to open. But on the diet, it's more powerful because you set deeper with that plant, and if you don't follow the rules, it can have strong consequences. That's why it's really important to follow the post diet. Usually in the post diet, in my own experience and what I've seen from people, there's that period of adaptation, right? Like we're dieting this plant, and then we come out into the world. There's something changed within us, and then we're going to have to kind of integrate ourselves with the world. And this can be very challenging. And I believe this is where the change can happen, because there's different awareness, different connections that happen when we relate with other people. Again, I think it's very important that we don't isolate ourselves in this process. Okay, it's important to take it slow, but I'm not a big fan of isolation after a retreat like that, because we're gonna change and we're gonna heal in relationship with one another. I've seen this in me, and I see that in my practice as well. Now I'm going to talk about the plants of contention. This is a very interesting way of working with the plants that I've learned here at Takiwazi. So during the treatment here at Takiwazi, the patients are taking plants the whole time. They don't, they do during their treatment, it's a 9-month to a year treatment. They do 4 diets in isolation, and throughout their process, they drink plants of contention. And why is it called plants of contention? Because it retains the energy inside of us, and with that contention, it will help us to learn about our feelings and to navigate our emotions. And this happens always in relationship with one another, as you can imagine. A rehabilitation center with 15 patients living together is very challenging. So they project all their lives into each other. So it can be quite messy, and the plants kind of help them to sort themselves. Like, okay, what I'm feeling, how do we express this? And the therapeutic work that we do at Takiwazi, without the plants wouldn't be possible, because we have all these therapeutic spaces where we work constantly those things. What are you feeling? How do we express ourselves? How do we share that something? It's hard for me, and using the plants of contention will help us on that process. It's very important to bring that emotional awareness. It works a lot in the dreams. And my work, when I do my integration practice, I use this type of plants of contention, in a tincture form. Here we use it pure. We cook it like every week, some plants. But for distance kind of work, it's hard. It's not possible to do it. So in the tincture, it works really well as well. And as Gabor Mate said, we were hurt in early relationship, which means that we are going to heal in relationship. And again, this is very, very important. All this work with the plants just works because we are with one another and we interact with one another. It's how we see ourselves most of the times. And the plants can really help us to do that work, to align our energies, to really do that work. For example, I'm a big fan of me and my husband. We work with the plants as well, and this really helps our relationship in a lot of ways. As you may know, if you experience ayahuasca, once you drink enough plants, it's kind of hard to repress things. Like, things don't get repressed. There's just, things are cleaner and things just come up, and it's always a constant learning, a constant sharing, and it's beautiful. It's what makes us grow. And that's why I really love the plants. It really makes us grow. And now I will share about a few Amazonian master plants that I've experienced with. I'm going to share 7 master plants. I have experience with these master plants, and we use them here in Takiwazi with the patients. Again, this is mainly for healing purposes, right? To focus on our healing journey. So the first one, it's called Ahosacha. Ahosacha, it's a beautiful plant. It was my first plant medicine dieta. I'm actually taking this plant right now. It's really happy. I'm really happy. It's a really beautiful plant. It's masculine, solar, and it gives guidance, direction. Like, dieting these plants, it's amazing. I see the people coming out of their diets with this to-do list. I need to do this, I need to do that. It really gives direction. What do we need to do in our lives? It helps to find our direction and our vocation. It's very beautiful and expands the dreams. It gives wonderful dreams, very, very vivid, very bright, and also with boundaries. It's a very, very important plant to work with. I think especially to start, because I think it's very important, to discern what it's mine, what it's not mine, what does it belong to me, what it doesn't belong to me. And this only works because Ahosacha works with anger. And anger is good for this purpose, to establish boundaries, to make us go to where we want to go. And yeah, Ahosacha works mainly on that, and also clears the energetic body. It's Aho means garlic, so it has that garlic taste and smell, and it clears, repels the energetic field as well. It's a beautiful plant. I love them all. And then we have Binsanda. Binsanda is a plant that grows on the sides of the river, has these beautiful pink flowers. And usually on the diet here at Takiwazi, we usually diet a masculine plant and the feminine plant. Why is that? To balance the energy. So we are not, with this unbalanced energy. So Binsanda goes really well with Ahosacha. While Ahosacha is really go, 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 do. Binsanda kind of is very heart based. It's a water plant. It really works on the flexibility, our inner flexibility. For me, for example, I've drank these plants so many times. It really helps, for example, when we are stuck in the thought pattern. Okay, I think it's this way. I need to go this way. And Binsanda kind of brings this kind of intuitions. Why don't you try this? Or why don't you try this? It's very diplomatic. It always tries to bring solutions to our inner conflicts, and this is very helpful. It brings flexibility. It's also very, very grounding, and it's very joyful. It's very normal that when people are drinking Binsanda, they feel very, very joyful. It's a beautiful one too. And now Chiricsanango. This one is it's a tricky one. It's a really beautiful plant as well, but it's a lot more sensitive. Usually it's not given, as an introduction to master plants dietas because it's more sensitive and the rules are more restrictive, especially on the post diet. It's very sensitive to smells, to fire or like cold water. So we need to really balance and take care of our energy during the post diet with these particular plants. So it's an air plant. It kind of opens us also to the spiritual world. It balances the masculine and the feminine and removes the fear from our body. So works on the fears. It's very common during a Chiricsanango diet that we feel a lot of fear coming up and a lot of cold. But it's because, things are getting liberated. Usually when we're taking plants and we feel something very strong, I usually, I'm very happy because good, this is coming out. It's finally coming out. And, always with this kind of thought, it really helps things to move. And it really works on the self-confidence. It's very challenging, this plant, but it brings a lot of gifts. This plant, for example, I was lucky enough when I did this plant for the second time in Portugal. I had my handpan with me, so I could play it. So every time that I play my handpan, I always connect with Chiricsanango because it really brought me that gift with the music in some way, especially with the handpan that it's also like a air instrument. It's really beautiful. So it's nice too. I know we have coca. Coca, it's a master plant. It's an air plant as well, and it's really good to work with the trauma. Why is that? Because it kind of numbs our pain in a way that we can integrate and deal with it. Right? We have this stigma, right? Cocaine in the Western world. We kind of destroyed this master plant in a way, but I'm glad that it's being recovered. Here we use it a lot. It's a very important plant, especially for in the mountains where they use it a lot for the altitude, to manage the altitude, and it calms the mind and heals the emotional wounds. It's a really good plant to work with. This next one that is called Ushpawacha Sanango. So Ushpawacha Sanango, it's called the memory of the heart. It's really good to traumatic experiences. I've dyed this plant as well, and it kind of brings memories from the past, things that were repressed for a long, long time, especially in childhood when we are not able to integrate and really to digest those emotions of those traumatic experiences. And during this diet, like I was having so many memories from my childhood. I was just crying a lot. For me, it's really hard because it's emotionally painful, because all this releasing. But it's very sweet as a really gentle way to work yourself inside of us. It's really, really beautiful and has this cathartic component for sure. All this crying and but it's beautiful for mourning as well. If you lost someone, this is a really nice plant to take. Yeah, it comforts the heart as well afterwards. It's like that when to release. To find the light, we always need to go through some struggles, right? So, but it's very worth it. I have so much faith with the plants. It's very worth it. And then tobacco, we know this one as well. It's a very popular plant, tobacco. It's a plant that we need to be very careful with, dieting or purging and using it as a master plant. It's always to be important to drink it and to diet it under a maestro that is qualified for it. And has experience with this plant, but it's a beautiful plant if the shaman, the healer knows what he's doing. It can be a really powerful plant. I've dyed this plant as well, and for me, it gave me a lot of clarity on my mind. It calmed me in a way. For women, I believe this plant tobacco is kind of a father figure. Kind of substitutes that energy or kind of balances that energy in a way that gives that security and that safety to open up to the world. And it's very strong. It's a very nice protection to have. Strengthens the body, the mind, and the spirit. It's kind of tobacco. Just go, go, go. very grounding as well. It depends of the way that you use tobacco. It can connect, for example, with the air. If you smoke it, you are connecting with the plant through the air, right? But it's always better to start to drink the plant like any other plant, to ground it in your body, because if you just smoke it, there's some qualities of the tobacco that are not getting into your body. First, they say the maestros here say that you need to be able to drink it to be able to smoke it first, and that's our father tobacco. This picture is here in my house. I just took this picture. It's nice one. And then chuchuasi. Chuchuasi is a big tree from the jungle. Masculine. It works on the transgenerational themes, traumas, ancestors, father lineage. It's really good to clear the lineage, the spirit in the spiritual sense. Gives a lot of structure. Also, if you have other master plant diets, it kind of helps to organize the other diets. So all the plants work really well together within the Amazonian tradition, but they all have their own place, right? And chuchuasi kind of helps to organize the diets. It's a tonic. It gives strength, and for women, it's really good for the hormonal system. It really balances the hormonal system and also increases the libido. It's a nice one. And that's it about the plants. Any questions about the plants before I go into the series? I can stop seeing you again. Chat. Okay, I found the chat here.
Cindy
Any
asked
questions? Drop them here.
Cindy asked if Chiricsanungo is the herb that is used in the eye Sanunga drops. The Sanunga eye drops. I don't know if you know.
I don't think so. I think it's a different plant on the Sananga. I've never done Sananga, by the way, but I don't believe that. I think Sananga is on one plant, but I might be mistaken. Any other question? No.
Typically, is it the patient or the healer that chooses the plant that someone is going to diet if they wanted to do a dieta?
Here, yes. So here at Takiwazi, for example, this is what I'm experiencing right now. So it's more fresh in my mind. So every patient has their own therapist, and it's every therapist they follow the patient since the beginning till the end. Sometimes they need to change, to work with the female therapist or with the male therapist. It's very important in certain stages of the process. But everything usually goes through to the main curandero, that is Jack. So Jack kind of has this gift with the mapacho, and he sees what plants the patient needs to diet, for his process. But usually it's related to the themes that come up in the process. Nice. I will go into these practices now. I have an offer for everyone that is in here that working with the tinctures in my own practices. Where is the center? So this center is in Tarapoto, Peru. It's called Takiwazi. You can go to takiwazi.org and look at their website. It's mainly for the patients, so it's very exclusive for the rehabilitation process. But it's a non-profit organization, so they do accept people from the outside to come to do like some plant medicine dietas in order to fund the treatment, because not everybody can pay for their own treatment. I will write it in here. Oh, is there? Takiwazi. You already know. No.
Did I spell that?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. So I will go ahead and share about the series. Oops. So usually I work one-on-one. This is the first time that I'm actually doing an offer like this in the group. I usually work with people after ayahuasca to integrate their journey for 2 months. We work one-on-one with master plants and the weekly sessions. And also, usually people have my number, and it's kind of like a personal experience, right? It's one-on-one. I'm always available, and we can do certain exchanges. We talk about the dreams. We do therapeutical work, explore emotions. We do some dynamics. As a body psychotherapist, I really focused on the body, what is present right now. I usually prefer to work what's present, not to dig too much into the past, but get there like naturally. With the help of the plants, that's very helpful too. So when we drink plants right now, right? We drink the plants, we connect with the master plants, and that connection with the master plants will help us to do this inner exploration. This is mainly the work that I do. I send the package to my clients, and then they start to take their plants. They start to connect slowly with the plants. It is not like an immediate process, as an ayahuasca experience. You can compare to it. It's more subtle. It's more subtle, but it works really well, especially for us to be living our daily lives, work, family. It works subtle, but it works on the dreams, sensations, intuitions. And then this will allow you to do this inner exploration. And this is what we work a lot on the sessions, right? It's what came up during the week. What did you experience? And then we slowly start to go into the psychological and emotional part of it. And then, right, the integration itself. If, for example, a person is coming right out of a retreat, this part is very important. Everything is very fresh. I usually like to work with people right after the retreat because it's where a lot of change can happen. We are really open. Things are kind of our energetic body more at the surface, so it's easier to make changes and the shift, especially if we have someone there, to share what's going on and how you're feeling. It's usually it's easier. It's a lot easier. And in this series, as I shared before, is the first time that I'm offering this within a group. It's a little different. It's not as personalized one-on-one, but it's a perfect way to learn together about master plants and their effect on the body, emotional, physical, and spiritual body. Work on the dreams. I really like to work on the dreams to understand better our subconscious that way. And in this series, you receive a package, a plant medicine package that will last for the series. That it's 4 weeks, it's a month. It will include 2 master plants, 60 milliliter bottle tonics, and also 2 packages of plant baths, 1 agua florida. That it's very helpful, to clear the energy. If you drank ayahuasca before, you've probably used it. And then also some mapacho and or palo santo, depends on your case, depends on what you prefer. And then once you receive your package, we have a date. We're going to start around the first week of August, and then we start to take the plants at the same time. And we'll give you all the instructions you need to take the plants. We're going to have a group where we're going to be in touch every day. I like to make the groups very intimate. I don't want big groups. This is going to be maximum 10 people because I want to be able to just be with everybody and just get to know each other and share the experience together. And then we'll have like weekly 90-minute sessions where we're going to do this exploration with the plants. There's space for each one of you to talk about your own personal process if you feel comfortable with it. Otherwise, just share the dreams or just learn more about the plants, things that come up. I will provide more knowledge about the plants that we're going to be working with. As I shared before, I really like to start with Ahosacha and Binsanda. I think they are a very nice introduction to this world of the master plants, and they are very, very helpful. Ahosacha and Binsanda, they're very helpful. And then at the end, we're going to have a private session. Each one of you will have a private session with me to just wrap the process and close things up. So that's the offer that I have for you. I hope you like it. There's this part of the restrictions. as always with the plants, there's always this downside of the restrictions. That's it. It's very important to follow these rules. To work with plants, we need to follow these rules. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It's kind of a waste of your time and a waste of my time, and we don't want that to happen. So for people that decide to join me on this series, it's important to commit to this work. This is a series work, and we can have really good results if we commit to it. So no alcohol, no drugs or other plant medicine, no cannabis. It's very important because cannabis kind of blocks the access to other master plants. I could do another workshop about it. It's very conflictive, this cannabis and the traditional Amazonian plant medicine, in my opinion. And also to avoid spicy food and strong spices, because this will mess up the energy of the plants. And if we are taking the time to really take plants and to do this inner discovery and healing work, we want to make sure that we are respecting the plants and also respecting ourselves, and really to give the space for that work to happen. And also sexual activity, including masturbation, because this is 4 weeks. It's a very short amount of time. And I really want you to have a really good experience, and I want you to really be able to connect with it. And why there's so many restrictions with the sexual activity working with the plants? It's simple, because we are taking plants. If we have sexual activity, including masturbation, we just release that energy of the plants. It's like it goes away. So all the work you've done, it was for nothing. It just goes away. That's why it's important. It's just rules. Drinking plants, we have those rules. So yeah, healthy diet with salt, very important, because we don't want to be open so everything can come into your energetic body. It's very important to eat salt throughout this process, so you're protected in your bubble, but you keep doing your inner work. Yep. Here. So how to apply for this series? So we're going to send you a form where you're going to fill out the form, and then I will get back to you so we can set up a 20-minute call so we can get to know each other better, and then see if this is the right fit for you to join the program. And then if you decided to apply and go for it, you will receive your package at your door and start your plant medicine journey with master plants. That's it. How about the price, right? So the price for this is $650. This includes the package, all the package, the delivery, and the 4-week series, for 4 sessions, group sessions, and one individual session with me at the end. And throughout the 4 weeks, I have you have me available to answer any questions you have, and and to help you out with whatever you need in the space. And also, if you need some private sessions throughout the process, it's also possible to work something out, because sometimes I know the plants can bring things up and we are not all comfortable in sharing things in a group. So I also want to bring that possibility. It's possible also to have some private sessions with it. That's it. Thank you very much for listening and taking the time to listen to what I had to say. It's an honor to be here, and I'm very grateful and to share this with you. And I'm looking forward to share more. I am very passionate about the plants. Any questions? See the chat. I'm always losing the chat. I'm sorry.
Maybe if you can stop sharing the screen if you want, and then
yeah,
and then we can see the chat. It'd be better.
Stop share. Okay. Now I can see you. Oh, nice. So questions.
I have a question. So which one of the medicines that you described are in the bottles? So that's my first question. My second question is, with my limited experience with ayahuasca, it was such a mind-altering experience. So I'm curious, how do you think this would work if we are taking medicines and continuing with daily life and responsibilities? How do you imagine this would be managed?
Okay, so first question, the plants used on this series, it's Ahosacha, and Bob and Sana. I shared them first with you. I think I could share the slide with all of you after as well, so you can have the information of the plants and
We'll send
and
that
see
in the
better
follow-up
what they
email.
work. Yeah. And the second question about taking plants, living, daily life. That's why I work with master plants in this way, because it allows us to do this work. It's subtle. It's not an ayahuasca experience, but it works. It works on the emotional level, on the very intuitive. It's subtle, but it works. And dreams as well. It works, and you can live your life normally with the restrictions that I shared. It's very important to follow the restrictions. I will be very restrictive with that. It's very important for me to have these rules in place so we can all have a good experience, and also for all the participants. We can all be in the bubble together. Yeah.
Thank you.
Did I answer your question,
Yeah.
Maria? Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Any more questions?
We have a question. Do you know the times of the 90-minute weekly sessions? Is that set, or is that dependent on signing up?
Yes, it's not set yet. Maybe I will do a vote with the people that are on the program, and we'll decide together the time of the 90-minute sessions. Is that okay?
Probably the most effective. Mel asked, I love the descriptions too, all really amazing stuff. Are all the plants combined in a ceremony? Let's say if a person was to need to work on their libido, but they do not drink chuchuasi, they drink other plants, will they not benefit at all in that area?
Ahosacha also works on the libido as well, not as focused as chuchuasi, but it works. It works on the libido, but depends on your intention, right? What do you want to do with it? I would have to dig a bit deeper here to answer your question. If you want to, to say more about it, like what do you want to work on, or we can talk about it later. You can fill out the form and we can talk about that after.
Kate asked, will you be offering another date option besides August?
Well, if this is popular, I think so. We can schedule another one.
Yeah, that would be the hope, right? I love this idea of bringing the plants home with you, and also merging the virtual integration work with work in real life and having actual plants that you're working with at home. So yeah, for sure, we would love to continue this if the first one goes well, and Ana has time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yael asks, when you first started dieting, how did you decide where to go and who to work with?
It's a very, very good question. So I went to friends. I think it's what we do, right? We go to our friends, the people we trust, people we care about, and this is what I did. I went to the people I trusted, and I just started to follow the path on that direction. But then in a certain part of my journey, I felt that I already had a discernment, what I wanted to go, what it served me, what it didn't serve me, and then I started to make my own choices. But it's a tricky decision. It's not easy. You need to be very careful where you diet, because when you diet a plant, you can also be dieting the energy of the person that did that diet, because when somebody offers you a diet, that person already has that diet. So it's important to know the relationship that person has with the plants in general. How do they follow their diets? Do they break their diets? If they break their diets, I don't go to it. So you want straight people. It's important to do diets with people that are straight and follow the rules of the plants.
Thank you. Dan asked, is there any gauge of how much salt? Can you expand on the salt being the protection of personal energetic space?
Just a normal amount of salt. I don't want you to eat your food too salty. I'm kidding. Just normal salt. Yeah, nothing in particular. Yeah, if you eat salt, you're fine. You know.
And then Megan, where can we find the form? I typed this in as well, but just for everyone to hear, we'll send that out in the follow-up email. So anyone who registered for this event will get this email, as long as you have email communications turned on in your notification settings on the Maloca. So I'll be sending it out tomorrow. And then if you don't receive something tomorrow, just reach out to us at welcome@themaloca.com and we'll make sure that you get that email. Tanisha asked, is it safe while breastfeeding?
Breastfeeding, good question. Ahosacha, no. So when we are, with our babies, we want gentle plants and more feminine plants that help us with that connection, with the baby in the motherhood. So Binsanda would be okay, but Ahosacha, no. If you probably decided to join the program, probably only do Binsanda because it's the safest one. Because your baby would also ingest the plants. Imagine having your baby all fired up with Ahosacha. Went calm, gentle.
Nice. Mazdak asked, are there restrictions with other types of practices, acupuncture, massage, yoga, etc.?
Is this the Mazdak that was at the retreat at Soltara that I've met? Is that you, Mazdak? It's okay. You can do other practices. It's totally fine. Yeah, it's actually good, to do other practices, get everything that connects with the body. It's good. It's very good.
Yeah, this, as I understand it, Ana, this is like a little bit of a modified. It's not like you're doing necessarily a complete master plant dieta. This is kind of like a modified deepening your relationship, so it is not quite as many restrictions as a normal dieta.
Exactly.
Okay. Beautiful. Let's see. Share your social media again. Okay, sure. It's at Ana Calisto Medicine, yeah? You can.
Yeah, Ana Calisto Medicine.
Duro asked, just wondering if this program works in providing mental clarity. I have some issues with mental chattering during my integration process.
Yes, definitely can help you. Like Ahosacha, it's really good for that. It clears the mind as well. It cleans all the energies around it, so it gives kind of that clarity. Actually, in the traditional way, Ahosacha was used to go hunt. Because it kind of amplifies your senses. It connects you better with your senses. So it's good for this as well, for that mental clarity.
Beautiful. Bob asked, how do you choose the plants a participant diets?
So this is not a dieta. I'm not going to call this a dieta. This is we work in the plants of contention. Like we are eating salt. We are not with the restrictions of a traditional plant medicine dieta. The plants I chose for this series is because they are usually the introduction to the plant medicine space. They are very easy to work with, and they bring really good results. So and everybody needs a little bit of clarity and a little bit of flexibility. So they're a perfect combination.
Arzina asked, do you suggest specific plants or teas if I want to start building a relationship with them at home before committing to a formal plant diet?
Definitely, you can start just taking tinctures in the same way that we're gonna do the series, but taking by yourself. It's very nice. You can work with your own issues by taking the plants, but it's always nice to have someone to do this work with you. You can explore on your own, but if you have kind of that other person, a therapist that can reflect back to you what you're experiencing, you can have better results. But I don't think Takiwazi has their website on, so you can buy the tinctures there. But if you want, I can provide you some plant tinctures as well too, so you can take them. Depends of your intentions. Just fill out the form and
go ahead.
I'll get back to you.
Okay. Yeah. So it might be based on your specific intentions, which specific plants or teas you want to start with.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Mel asked, can one only do this 4-week experience if they have participated in a ceremony previously?
No, but it's better because you already are more open to the plants. You already connected with the plants before. What can happen is it can get harder to connect with the plants, but it's possible. Many people drink plants without without ayahuasca, so it's possible. But just to put that in perspective and don't create too much expectations, just it can have that barrier of like connecting first with the plants, but you can have good results. It also depends on the person, depends of the how sensitive a person is, how connected the person is to to the plants. It depends.
Dan asked, dieta traditionally no salt, correct? That's correct, as I understand.
Yes, plant medicine dieta, yes. When you want to really do a dieta, no salt.
Angelica says, if I am intolerant to garlic, would I be intolerant to Ahosacha?
Good question. I will have to dig that out to answer your question. I don't know.
Leslie or Leslie, all the master plants you shared with us will be sent to us in mail as tincture. I apologize if I misunderstood. No, so it would just be if you sign up for the program, and then you would be sent 2 plant tinctures, the first 2 that Ana mentioned, Ahosacha and Binsanda. And so those would be for the 4-week series. Can you do this 4-week experience before doing ayahuasca? I'm returning to Soltara in the end of August.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have experience with ayahuasca? If you're returning, means that you already had some experience with ayahuasca. So yes, you're already connected with the plants. You can participate in this program without drinking ayahuasca, but there's that condition of having some kind of passing that barrier of connecting with the plants. That's the only concern.
And it should be okay because this is also within the Shipibo tradition. Like these plants are part of the Shipibo medicine wheel. So we typically say don't work with other plant medicines, but this is part of the Shipibo medicine work. So it's not like it's contraindicated.
Yeah, and we're not doing any type of energetic work as well. It's you and the plant. We are doing an inner exploration. There's no sort of healing. I'm not gonna heal you from anything. You're gonna develop the connection with the plants and have your own experience with it, and have your own conclusions from it. And we're gonna share it here together.
Beautiful. Are these plants gentle enough to take while on other medications? And does this help to prepare for a future ayahuasca experience?
It depends on the medications that you're taking. If you're taking medications, there's already that barrier of connecting with the plants. So, but depends of the medications that you're taking. And for sure, this can help to prepare for the future ayahuasca experience, because you are connecting, you're learning, you're getting more sensitive to this work. So I would say so.
Dan asked, do you need to monitor how much stress or daily life activities while participating in this program?
Well, it's always better, if you don't have too much stress in your life while doing this program, but sometimes it's part of the process as well, and to manage it and how you deal with it and how you manage yourself and centered. So it can be also interesting, but it's better if you can monitor and not put yourself into a huge amount of stress.
And Sophia asks, so it is supposed to take the plants alone, but when you take it, will it happen like a ceremony? Do you purge, have visions? Do you stay in altered state of consciousness, or is it softer than that?
Great question. So it's very subtle, as I said. I'm going to experience in a subtle way, like more emotional waves, intuitions, dreams. This may happen when you are interacting with other people. You start to feel things differently inside of yourself, some sort of emotions rising to the surface. So it's subtle. There's no visions, and you're not going to purge. It's not like a ceremony. It's nice that you do a little ceremony for yourself when you're drinking and taking the plant to connect with it, to set your intention. But when you are out and about, you're not going to have these sorts of experiences, visions.
Beautiful. I think those were all the questions. I apologize. Let me know if I missed any, or feel free to just unmute yourself if you have another question before we close out here.
I actually have
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, is this like a new approach? Like I noticed that there was like some like virtual offerings during like the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. Is this like a new kind of hybrid approach to developing relationships with some of these plants?
I've never seen anybody offering the kind of offer that I do. What I've seen is people do plant diets at home. This is different. This is not a dieta. This is more kind of an inner exploration. Usually I do it in a therapeutical way, one-on-one, but this will be in a group. So we're going to explore together and learn together about this experience. Did I answer your question then?
Yeah. I just, like I said, just on the remote, because were you saying this was your first time offering it in a virtual way? I was just curious on the not that being first or having a unique offering is bad. I don't think of that at all. I was just curious of just kind of as a new approach of, like I said, developing a relationship in a remote way. Like, have you worked with people in a remote way like this before, or this is your first time?
Yes, I have my practice, but I usually work individually, one-on-one with people. I have great results. You can see some reviews on my website, but it's my first time within a group setting. This is the different part. It works differently because it's not as therapeutical in a way, because we're not gonna dig and really sit with dig into our emotions. We can, if we decide to, if you need so, we can schedule a private session, but this is more for inner exploration to what we feel throughout the process of taking plants, the challenges we face, how can we manage it better. It's gonna be very dynamic. It's not intended to be a therapeutic session. It's just it's some guidelines and the exploration.
Cool. Did you have something else, Dan?
No, that's all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Kate asked, how long do you need to have stopped cannabis before beginning using the master plants?
Stop now. If we're going to start in August, so at least a month.
Okay.
At least a month.
Give it some space. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Ana, for this amazing talk and offering. I hope everyone enjoyed the talk, got some great information, found something to take with them today as we deepen our relationships to plants and plant medicines. And yeah, for those who are interested in joining Ana for her plant medicine series, just keep an eye out in your email. Like I said, we'll be sending a follow-up application form to apply to join this container. I wish I could join, but I'll leave the 10 spaces open for others. But I will be sending it out through the Maloca platform. So again, make sure you have your email communications turned on. You can find that in your notification settings. And again, if you don't receive the email and you would like the form, then just reach out to us at welcome@themaloca.com. So we'll get that to you. And if you appreciated this event, we'll have many more events for the public, as well as members only events and discounts for those who sign up for our Maloca Inner Circle membership, as well as a bunch of other goodies you can read more about under the memberships tab. And just to share briefly, our next event is going to be a plant medicine preparation session with our therapist, Sharon Slate, on July 17th. Followed by a women's circle hosted by the founders of Women on Psychedelics on July 20th. And they are two of the most amazing women. So I highly recommend checking out that event if you fit that description. You can find more info under the events tab at themaloca.com. So thank you so much again, Ana. Super excited for this offering. Thank you for offering it for the first time on the Maloca. And
I'm so excited.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. If there's anything else you want to share before we sign off, that's all.
No, that's it. Thank you very much for all of you to be here, taking your time to listen to what I have to say, and looking forward to receive your form and get in touch with all of you. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thanks, Mel. I really appreciate you.
yeah. Everyone,
Bye.
have
Thank
a lovely
you.
evening.
Love you. Bye-bye. You too.